What up? I'm Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Coded Design, where I teach coding and user interface design. This is video number 4 of my crash course titled Conceptual Object-Oriented Programming in PHP. In this video, we're going to talk about the scope of properties and method. What do we mean by that? As I've said before, that inside a class we are supposed to have properties and we are supposed to have method. But as you can see here, when we are declaring a property, we don't declare it just like any other general variable. For instance, when we declare a general variable, we just type size equal to, and we put whatever we want. Let's say size is equal to 34. This works fine, but however, as much as the properties inside a class, they are variables, but they've got the scope of visibility, meaning that is this property public or it's private. So for now, I have declared the public properties, meaning that you can also make these properties private. You can make it private, and also you can make this one private. So what is the difference between a public property and a private property? Okay, when we instantiate this object, when we are creating this object, this public and private determines if we are able to access that variable outside the scope of this class. So if it's public, that means we can access it outside the scope of this class, outside this class. But if it's private, it means that we can only access it in this class. In the next video, creating objects, that's where we're gonna put things into the practicality of it, where we're gonna run a code and see what is actually going on. So everything will come together. You will see this public and private and how it works. So in the same way, the properties, they've got the scope, which is public or being private. Also, the methods of a class can be public and they can be private, meaning that if they are public, you can access it outside the scope. If it's private, you can only access it inside the class. So for instance, this one, we can make it a public function, and also we can make this one, let's say, a private function, which this one, it will be display name. It will be display name. So as you can see, we've got our class that have got the properties, the name and item size. They are private property. That means when we are outside this class, we cannot access those. When we're inside this class, we can access those. Okay, and also here we've got our constructor, a function that is automatically ran when you instantiate, when you're creating an object from this class. As soon as you use the new keyword when you are instantiating, this is run automatically. It's there to do some initialization or some settings, whatever that you want to do when you first create the object. And then here we've got two methods. This one is public, that is visible outside the scope of this class, and this one is private, that means it's not visible outside the scope of this class. It's only visible in this class. So that's it for this video. If you feel like this video is adding value to your overall understanding of object-oriented programming, please subscribe. In the next video, we're gonna be creating the object. This is where things are gonna be practical and you're gonna see visually how the objects are being created, and also how to use these properties and methods. Thank you.